but we have some questions that we got to ask ourselves, investment wise, market wise, especially when we're talking about crypto. Um, what will, excuse me, what will a Bitcoin ETF do for Bitcoin price? So, you may not be familiar with it, but if you're not familiar with Grayscale, Grayscale is one of the largest crypto funds. Um, I can't remember the number off top with how much money they have under management, but it's one of the largest Bitcoin funds that they have that's in existence right now, and they're looking to turn that fund into an ETF. So we're going to get into that, and what will that do to Bitcoin price? More importantly, because now it's basically like when you understand what the ETF is, it's like basically opening up the casino. People can basically gamble on the price of Bitcoin, a derivative of Bitcoin, and if that is approved in the U.S., then man, that stock, that ETF is gonna go crazy. The last one, and we'll see. I have a video, so we'll actually be able to compare it to the first gold ETF, and the first gold ETF did like 400%, right? So again, guys, we're just positioning ourselves. Is we have to understand these things because these plays that are getting ready to happen are going to be like tremendous, right? Because I was talking, I think I was talking to my mom the other day, and I was just telling her about the banking system, how you got to realize how when you look at like a token or a coin, and it has 1 quadrillion coins or whatever the case is, because everything will now become digital bits. Everything will have to be one for one. So if it's a $50 million property, right? It'll have to be 50 million individual bits of data that represent that particular property on the blockchain, on the digital system. So our current banks are not equipped for that. But the ones when they're doing this great reset that they talk about, that's what they're doing. They're getting the banking systems and all the plumbing, all the piping in place to be able to do that, right? So when you look at 400% on gold, on an ETF, think about the potential of what a Bitcoin ETF could do, right? Because if you just look at the percentage of gain that Bitcoin has already had, right? So imagine like people are, some speculations of Bitcoin being $1 million, Bitcoin being $2 million per coin, and we're sitting around $20,000 right now. So, just in perspective wise, super cheap, super cheap, and like the upside to what we're sitting in front of is life changing. So that I want to definitely want you guys to understand where we are and what we need to be doing, and then a big question that we all have to ask ourselves and how do we prepare for it is, will the USD, basically US dollar, remain the reserve currency of the world, right? That's a very important question, because if it's not, then what replaces it? Being that because we're in a global market, that means we don't have to. That means we can basically operate outside of our current system if we know how to do so, and follow guidelines. But with cryptocurrency and some of the other applications that we have, we're able to still operate. So that's a big question, right? And then it's just my quote of the day is, if you understand the math. Because in one of the videos, you'll hear the man say, he said, it's just mathematics. And that just struck me today, like, man, it's all math equation. It's all a math problem. That's it. You know what I'm saying? All of this is numbers. All of this is figures. It's all math. And the only thing they say, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That's all this is. So if you understand the math, you understand the problem, and you understand how to get to this money. So that's the thing we really want to understand, how to understand this money game. And then we'll do our book review today. We're finishing Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret, and we're going into another book called Soft War. And I want us to really dig in. This is probably going to be more of a technical book for us. But if you're looking at Bitcoin, you're looking at being in the crypto space, some of these things you just have to nail down and bite the bullet and try to understand it. And we'll go through it. I'm ordering mine today, so hopefully I get it pretty quickly so we can start going over it. But I think it's very important for us to be reading documents like this, because the deeper your understanding is of what this is and what we're in front of, the more opportunities you will see, and you will know how to execute on those opportunities. It won't just be like a theory in your mind, or you won't be afraid of it. You'll be like, man, this is what's really happening. Let me put my money there, or let me put my time, or let me put my vision there so I can make something happen. So that's what we really want to be in. So some of these documents or some of these books is really important to dig into. And then we'll check the charts. I'm sure you guys have seen a dramatic drop in the market. And I think we have more to go. So, but again, we talked about the max pain scenario, right? Are people starting to feel it? What is the sentiment in the market right now? Like, how are people feeling? And that's how we're going to gauge whether when we reach a bottom, some other, that's some of the things that we're looking at as far as how we judge where we are in the market. And then today is day 28 of our decree of things. So again, we're going to continue focusing on what we want to see in our lives, everything that we want, and we're going to decree it and claim it together that it's already done. All right. So first video, grayscale.